What is up, GU? It is your content editor, Danielle Wright here, and I am here with the one, the only Monaleo.
Hey, I'm excited.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here.
Love that, love
Very
that.
excited.
So I feel like we boast about you, we talk about you all the time on GU, and I feel like we know about the journey, but today I want to focus on the success of your project from Where the Flowers Don't Die to everything that's been going on. So which, by the way, I love, like Rich Mom Baby, Ass Kicking, I love it, I love it.
Houston anthems.
Period, exactly. So speaking of Houston, it's such a big part of your identity. What is it about the city that gives you the confidence to really disrupt the music industry?
I feel like we just have so many iconic talent that comes out of Houston. It's like a standard. Like, I feel like Beyonce is obviously the standard of music. So it's like, how could we both be from Houston and I'm not bringing the same energy that Beyonce is bringing, or at least trying to channel an ounce of the energy that she brings. So it's just a lot of pressure being from Houston, but pressure in the best way possible.
Love that, love that. So you recently had a baby boy, which congratulations.
Thank you.
We have to ask, what has been the one song that he's been loving? Like whether you sing it to him to go to sleep, or it's like he needs it on replay to relax. Like, what is it?
Girl, I don't know about relax, but my son loves Don Julio. Every time I play Don Julio, he just get the bouncing around.
That's so cute.
Left to right. He just lights up. I think it's because I was playing it so much when he, like, around the time he was getting ready to turn one. And so now every time I play it, it's like Miss Rachel. For real. Like, he gets hurt for real. So Don Julio, that's his jam.
I love that you brought that up because we have to talk about Don Julio and your other freestyle, the Espresso remix. How did that song come together? What was like
How did Don Julio come together?
Yeah.
Okay, girl. So I'm in the studio. I'm in LA. This is 2023 at this point. This is in 2023.
Okay.
And Don Julio came out in 2024. So this is almost 2 years ago. I'm in the studio and I'm just chilling. I'm bobbing. I got me some Don Julio in front of me. And I must have been calling Stunna, and I'm like calling him. He's not answering. He's supposed to be out of town shooting a music video. But we weren't really seeing eye to eye that day. So some was just like, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm calling him. He's not answering. And I'm just like,
Woosah. Woosah.
I'm going to go. I'm actually going to, I remember telling myself, I'm going to channel this energy. I'm going to go in the booth. By the time I finish recording this song, somebody better have called me back or else. So just picture that. And I'm in the studio and I'm a little turned. So I got the liquid courage. So I'm really just popping it, just talking shit. And then he ends up calling me halfway through. And then, but I had to just keep going with the song though. I had to just keep going with the song because it was so good. I was so invested in it at that point. It was like, nah, I got to keep going. And yeah, that is the story of how Don Julio came about.
I love that. I love a good little lore. But like, did you think that exactly? Did you think that the song was gonna like pop off? It was gonna be like this fun little track. Like,
no clue. You never really like. I feel like you have a good idea, but you can never really predict those things. Like, maybe people will like the song, maybe people won't like the song. I really wasn't even concerned about that. I was just throwing paint at the wall at that point. And it's just like, whatever I feel, whatever I'm listening to that I like, I'm just going to put it out. And however people receive it is how they receive it. And 6 months after I put it out, then it caught this buzz and this wave. And now Don Julio is, but I didn't expect that at all.
You know what's so funny that you say that is that literally happened with Beyonce and Bow Down. Like she literally, I remember there was an interview that she did that she literally went inside the studio and she was like, I'm going to just say whatever. And that's how she made Bow Down, and it ended up just like blowing up. So I love that little Beyonce.
Yes. See, we on the same page. B gets me.
Period. So you seem to be an artist that really loves to take their time to perfect their craft.
Absolutely.
Can you dive into how you work in the studio and how you distribute distribute it to your fans? Because I feel like when it comes to your music, it's like we get some, we on and pop in, and then it's like we wait a little bit, then we get another song that we on and pop in. So like, what's with the gap? We have to know.
That's a really good, I don't even be trying to have no gap. It's low-key kind of annoying to like realize, to wake up and realize, damn, it's a gap. But it's just like, I just be trying to pace myself, and I'm kind of like, I'm on my own journey, and I'm not in a rush. I understand like the importance of striking when it's hot, and you have a hot song, you want to put another one. I understand all of that. Trust me, I get it. But I'm just on my own journey. I'm on my own path. I'm going at my own pace, whatever works for me. And that's like the simplest way that I can put it. So it's never really intentional, like, I'm going to wait 6 months, I'm going to wait 4 months before I put another song out. It's just, I just be in the studio recording. I just be recording. I'll be working. I'll be shooting stuff. I'll be, doing videos, photo shoots, shows, this, that, and the third. So it just gets to a point where you just get caught up in the elements.
Yeah.
And I don't want to rush to put anything out and put out something that I don't believe in. So I always try to put out songs that I really believe in when I believe in them.
For sure. I really like that answer, because I think in this day and age, it's so much pressure that like every Friday we have to have something out from an artist, So I think it really is important for you to take your time and really just figure out everything, because once you put out an album, I feel like that's when the criticism just hits. And it's like, I would rather, I'm saying like my own personal opinion, but it's like, I would rather you like take your time, know like this is a solid project and put it out. Because I know some fans will be like, we're waiting, and it's kind of like, well, wait. Like, we're still waiting on R9. Like, relax. Like, she's going to put it out.
Exactly.
Like, wait.
Exactly. Like, and it's not to be rude to fans or anything, but it's just like, I'm an artist and I'm figuring out my own creative process, and I want to be authentic to myself. So it's for like whatever time that I need to take to make sure that I'm continuing to be authentic in this process, I feel should be respected.
I love that. And it kind of brings me into my next question for you is, you've been in this game for a hot minute. Is there anything that you've had to unlearn about success, especially when it comes to protecting your peace?
I would say what I had to unlearn is there's not really one formula that will work. When you come into the industry, people try to convince you that like, you have to follow the same blueprint that somebody else followed. And the truth of the matter is, your process is your process. So how somebody blows up may not work for you. And I'm a very firm believer in like, I'm not about to go copy what I see is working for the next woman because it worked for her. I completely abandoned my own mission. And now I'm jumping on her shit. And now I'm trying to do what I see her doing because it's working for her. And I feel like people can smell that on you where you're not being authentic and when you're trying to follow somebody else's way, following somebody else's footsteps. I saw this interview that Nicki Minaj did, and she said, when you jump from trend to trend to trend, you basically become faceless.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with that. Like when you try to hop on whatever's hot, you lose your own authenticity.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you come into this industry, people try to convince you that there is one way of doing things. Like, oh, you have to do this. Like, this is the order of sequence that you have to follow. You have to do this and this and this and put out this song, and you have to do a sample, and you got to sign to a major label, and you got to do this and this and that in this order. And I just completely disagree with that. And Doechii is a perfect example of like, if it's going to work for you, it's going to work no matter how long it takes, no matter what the song sounds like. If it's going to work, it's just, if it's in the cards for it to work out for you, it's just going to work out for you. So that's why I always say I'm just at my own pace. I'm not in a rush, because when it comes, I want to make sure that I'm fully equipped and I'm prepared and I'm grounded and I'm seated in who I am. So it's like, this feels good to me and this feels like it belongs to me.
For sure. I feel like you're a very like individual artist. There's nobody that sounds like you. There's nobody who puts out projects like you. There's no one that is like you even lyrically. I think one thing I love about you is you do stay true to that Houston sound, but you found a way to truly make it your own, which is also very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that, too.
Of course, of course. I want to talk about your signature look, which is this Leo beat. I feel like this makeup look, it's like, it's the Leo
It's
look.
me.
Okay?
It's really me. It's really me. At this point, I need to work with a makeup company or something, because I get so many compliments on my own beat, and people are always like, who does your makeup? I'm like, girl, I do it. What the fuck are you talking about? I be doing it.
Crazy.
Yes, I love it. My signature beat, obviously, I like a matte base. Lots of blush on the cheeks, blush on the nose. And you know what I just think is so funny that everybody's coming around to the blush on the nose thing. Because when I was doing it back in high school, when I first started doing makeup and I was doing it in high school, I remember everybody be like, what's on your nose? Why is your nose red? Are you sick? Like, it just used to be all types of weird little comments, and people, they didn't get it. They really didn't get it, but it never deterred me. So it just feels great to see everybody coming around to the blush nose, because it's like, oh, wow, how ironic.
Exactly.
Because when I was blushing my nose, everybody was looking at me like I was fucking crazy. Granted, I probably had a little bit of blush blindness. Like, I might have been. I probably still got a little bit of blush blindness to this day. Like,
Not at all.
I love a lot of blush. I just think it's so cute and feminine and dainty and fairy-esque, like, and princessy. I like it personally. But yeah, that's my signature beat. And you know, this face only takes like 45 minutes. I'm getting so good that it's like, if I have like 30 minutes, it could still look like this if I'm locked in.
Oh, I can never. But like, I want to know, like, how do you get it so that it's all like flawless? Like, what's the skincare prep?
The skincare prep. So I like the Bobbi Brown Skin Enhancer. It's like a face base. That's what it's called, a face base. It's kind of like a moisturizer. And then I like the Milk Makeup, the Grip Primer.
Yeah, the Hydro Grip.
Love that one too. That's like the base, and it's still glowy, but it's tacky. So that makeup is in place. And then I like to set it with a couple of different setting sprays, but I definitely like to set my makeup with the One Size waterproof.
The setting spray.
The pink. The one in the pink bottle.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So good. Your makeup will not move. Very flawless.
Child.
Airbrushed.
I'm going to have to make a trip to Sephora after this.
Exactly. I can take you. I'll tell you exactly which products I use.
I will take you up on that. But also, speaking of your look, pink has been a very, very, very expressive color for you.
I love pink.
I wore pink today because of you.
And it looks amazing on you, by the way. Looks great on you. We almost wore the same thing today. And I packed this in my suitcase, and I was going to wear it today, but I was like, nah, I'm going to just wear some chill shit today. Because I wanted to we almost wore the same thing. So we were in sync. We would have been sitting here matching.
No, for real.
Looking at each other like...
like the Spider-Man meme.
The Spider-Man meme, yes, girl.
So is it just because it's your favorite color? Because it's like everywhere. Like,
it's the color that makes me feel the most comfortable. It just reminds me of my childhood, and I just feel like I'm healing my inner child by wearing pink every day as an adult, because it's something that I love to do. And in the midst of everything that I was going through in my childhood, I remember wearing pink and having pink and painting my walls pink, and that was like my safe color. So now that I have free will and I'm an adult and I got adult money, that's what I choose to, like, make my own. And people, not everybody agrees with it. Everybody's always trying to get me to do other colors, and it's so annoying to continuously have the same conversation over and over and over again, because I could say it 1,000 different ways. Like, this is the color that I'm going to wear. But I'll be bumping heads with like stylists, my team, my managers. They always be like, please, Leo, with the pink shit. Like, you're blowing me. It's been 5 years. Yes, it's been 5 years. So you should know at this point, it's not a game.
Pink or nothing. Pink or nothing.
I'm really living the pink lifestyle. So, yeah, it's my favorite color, though. I love it. I will always wear pink. Maybe I'll get out. Maybe I will grow out of it, though.
Okay, girl.
But no,
I'm a pink girl, too. Like, I never get tired of it.
Like, I'm not even close to being tired of it. So it's like, damn, I wonder when I will grow out of it and wear other shit. I'll be looking at other colors like, damn, that's fly. But I wouldn't wear that because it's not pink.
Well, I'm really excited because I feel like, yeah, pink is such like a core color for you. Like I don't think I can imagine you like a blue or green.
Could
like
you
it's
imagine
giving,
if I came in here like green hair?
girl.
I could see it. But I had to have my
Love
pink
that
so that I'd
for
be
you.
looking like an AKA for real.
No,
if I came in here
facts.
like that, yeah.
Facts. So black girl to black girl, what's a message or affirmation that you tell someone who may be struggling with mental health?
I would tell them my go-to is you are worthy, you are loved, you are appreciated, and you would be missed. Because a lot of people, well, first of all, when I was going through what I was going through a few years ago, I remember I joined a forum online, like a chat, group chat, and I was just kind of venting to anonymously. We were talking to each other anonymously, so nobody knew who I was. I didn't know who they were. We had screen names. And I was just kind of venting, and I will never forget, and I screenshotted this because it was so impactful. It was such a short sentence, but it was so impactful to me. One of the people on there was like, Leo, like, we would miss you. And I'm like, mind you, they didn't know me. We had never met each other. They didn't know what I looked like. They just said that, and I could tell that they were very sincere about that. And sometimes that's all people need to hear, because sometimes people just feel like they're not appreciated in certain spaces. They're not wanted. They don't belong. They might feel the imposter syndrome. All the things that kind of seep into your brain when you're struggling with yourself. So telling people that is like, that's like my go-to, because that's what worked on me. Mm-hmm. And that's how I really feel. I miss people who I've never even met before all the time. And I just feel like more people need to hear that they're appreciated and like, actually, we do need you here. Mm-hmm. That's what I would tell them.
That very, very sweet. So winding down to my last question, let's talk now about your next project. So what do you want your next era to feel like emotionally and visually?
That's a really good question. Emotionally, I want my next project to be candid, and taboo. So I want to talk about all the taboo topics that people are normally not comfortable talking about. Okay. So I'll be getting into that on my next project. And then visually, I want it to be
pink.
Of course, always pink. Always pink. But you know, I want to... So I'm going back to school this summer for mortuary science. I went to school for mortuary science before I became an artist. And then in the midst of that, I'm working and doing it. And then I become an artist. So I ended up dropping out of school. But I'm going back to school this summer for mortuary science. And I want to just talk more about grief and death and just normalizing those conversations. Insurance, like, for real, I want to normalize that because I feel like it's so taboo in our community that we don't talk about it pretty much at all. And I feel like I've had so many run-ins with death, so many experiences with death, near-death experiences, you know, people around, you know, I just noticed that my family is really finicky about that topic. And a lot of people in our community are finicky about that topic. And we're underprepared emotionally, financially. And I just want to open up the space to have a conversation about that. So that's what I'm trying to do for my next project in a tasteful way, of course. I feel like once you start talking about death and stuff like that, people get real finicky. And you know, they start calling you devil worshiper and all types of weird stuff. And it's like none of the things. I just always, it's just one of those things that a lot of people struggle with. And so I want to be able to have that. And it's something that I have personally really struggled with. I struggle with grief. To this day, I have a very difficult time getting over certain deaths that have occurred already in my life. So I just want to be able to have that conversation with my community, and I just want to talk more about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being candid myself, when my grandmother passed, I think that was like my first real experience with death. And it was as if like no one wanted to talk about it. Like I couldn't talk to my mom, I couldn't talk to my auntie, like no one wanted to talk about it. So I think it is important for our community to be more vocal about it and, you know, talk about it as a family, especially, you know, because everybody is grieving in their own way. But I think it makes it easier when you're able to really just grieve together rather than by yourself, for sure.
Absolutely. There's like, power in solidarity and being there for each other and being able to lean on your community, lean on the people around you. And I'm also sorry about your grandmother too, because I know like my grandmother is a pillar in my family. So I know even when my grandmother is sick, or a few years ago, my grandmother had a stroke, and everybody was just kind of like, we were looking at you like, what the hell do we do? Like, so I know that was very difficult for you. So I'm sorry that you had to experience that. But yeah, I agree. I think that we should have more open conversation. And I just feel like death is inevitable. And it's one of those things that is, I hate to say it, looming over us.
Yeah, essentially it is.
Essentially it is. And it's like the elephant in the room sometimes. And it's like, let's just have this conversation. Like, I'm one of those people, I already have life insurance. I have all my things in order. I talk to my insurance people. What happens if this? What happens if that? Who gets what? Like, I'm overly prepared. God forbid, but it's just one of those things. Like, you can never be too prepared. And I feel like people like to pretend like it just don't be happening.
Yeah.
And be put in, and it leaves families with a lot of stress and misplaced anger and aggression and emotions, and it affects people's mental health. Like, it's just a lot. So I want to do my part and try to open up that conversation. And I hope that people receive it well, because like I said, I know how awkward that conversation can be. So that's the goal for me.
For sure, for sure. Now, I do want to end JAMS on a lighter note. So I'm going to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you for the remainder of 2025?
Let's see, we're in April. Number one, my birthday's next week. Period.
Oh, okay. Happy early birthday.
So that's what you can expect. I'm getting older. No. I'm putting out singles, some really fire singles, and they all live in different, you know how I am with my singles. All my singles are just all over the place. But I really enjoy that because I get an opportunity to live in these different spaces and worlds for a short time, and then I can move on. So I can, I have the opportunity to get shit out and I move on to the next thing that I'm on. So expect some singles, expect a project later this year. Expect some hot shit, some fire looks. I'm getting married this year as well. So expect a very grand, actually, you know what? Expect a very grand wedding. I really would love to do something with Essence though, surrounding the wedding, because I feel like
absolutely,
Essence has supported me so much. So I would love to do some sort of spread, or even like what we did a few years ago when we did the spread and we took all the pictures and we did the write up. Even if it's something like that, I would love to have a Black publication present at the wedding.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals as well. So I hope we can do something with Essence for that.
For sure. Side note, we actually do have a series called Bridal Bliss that we do on the Essence side. So I definitely need to let Nandi know about that.
Yes.
For sure. But congratulations on getting married soon.
Thank you.
And yeah, so this has been JAMS with Danielle and Monaleo. Until next time. Bye.